Hey, there we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be where you are. Welcome back to the live stream. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is March 15th, 2019. And we're going to write a little bit of code today. How's it going out there, chat room? Hello, hello. I haven't seen you in a while. It's been what? A day? A day? Right? Gosh. Hello, hello. Who's in the chat room there? I see Hugo. Good morning. Top of the chat room. Yeah. Said how is here. Lan and BR. Hello. Stelzy and Eckert. How's it going? Michael Jolly. Good morning. Yeah, you missed us? Oh, we're back. We're back. And we've got some fun and hijinks planned here. Oh my gosh, what happened here? Let's see. Nice live share hat. Yeah, I got my live share hat on today. .commie is here with the hype. Hello, hello. Nice. Long time no see. I see what you did there. Hey, Johan, good to see you. So let's get some music playing. Let's write some code today. Yesterday, gosh, we didn't have our normal stream. We had the full day, all day Windows Application Developer Workshop. What'd you think? How'd we do with that? Did you enjoy it? Was that the right tone? I feel like there was a lot of assumptions made throughout that day that we were kind of expecting folks to already be a little bit of a Windows developer. Is this the new stream start schedule temporarily? No. This is so. This is. Thank you, Hugo, for the resub. And it looks like Welsh Ronaldo also has a resub in there as well. Thank you very much. Should we make it official? Make what official? Everything's official. And why isn't it reading Stream Elements? Help me out here. Why aren't you reading these things? There we go. Johan with the Twitch Prime. Thank you so much for that. That is very kind. And we'll make a donation to Black Girls Code like we are with every subscription, every cheer here this quarter. Yeah, why aren't my text to speech being read here, huh? Huh, friends? Help me out here, Stream Elements. What are you doing to me? Oh no. Look who it is. Fierce Kittens has arrived. I wanted to write some JavaScript today. You know, just when you thought you could write some JavaScript. No, I'm kidding. But I was asking, great stream yesterday. About yesterday, we did the Windows Developer Workshop. I want to get into, not today, but in the next few weeks, I want to start talking about .NET Core 3. I think we're at a point with .NET Core 3 that it's going to get interesting for us to start migrating applications over to it. So we had that workshop all day yesterday. Today, we're going to write a little bit of code here, just us, just friends. And then at 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, we're gonna have another virtual dev intersection. I'll be joined by my co-host, my good friend, Mr. Richard Campbell, and we're going to talk to Billy Hollis, who's like the dean of user interface design for .NET folks. Always tremendous spending time talking to Billy. I consider him a friend, a little bit of a mentor. I've learned a lot from him over the years. And then a friend of mine, a good friend, you've seen him here once or twice, Brady Gaster is going to join us, and we're going to talk about some of the cool things that are happening with SignalR. So I hope you stick around. 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. We'll be over on the Dev Intersection channel. The workshop yesterday was great, says Ancient Coder. Thank you. Breakfast tacos. Stop that. Wait. Breakfast tacos? Is that a thing? So this is an envy visit? Did you bring enough for everyone? Yeah, right? Oh, Fierce Kittens, you're killing me here. All right, let's see if I can figure out why aren't we getting that text-to-speech coming through? Subscriber alerts, show subscriber messages. That wasn't even turned on, but all right, whatever. Alert sound volume. Yeah, we've got that. Custom CSS. Text-to-speech settings, please. Delay in seconds. Minimum amount to trigger text to speech. Okay. 1. Select its voice. Announce action. Yes, announce action. Sure. Okay. So hopefully that works. For the subscriber alert. Yeah. Okay, fine. Do it. Make that a thing. So, and then let's get some music playing in the background here. You know, I like having. I'm wearing a bit of purple today, so I think I'm going to play purple. This is from Mr. Carl Franklin. There it goes, and his music to code by. This is music that's designed to get you in the groove, to get you focused on whatever task it is that you're working on, whether it's writing code, doing homework, eating a breakfast taco. Maybe. It'll help you get focused, get your tasks done in a more enjoyable way. Check it out, mtcb.pwop.com. I'm waiting for that announcement. I see a user notice there. All right. Music to Code By now has a streamer license. Yes, it does. So if you're out there and you want to start playing this music on your stream, you can sign up and get a license so that you can play all the great music as well. Check it out. I can throw that link in the chat room with the music command. There it is. mtcb.pwop.com. Thanks so much, Carl. We appreciate being able to listen to your music while we're writing code together here today. I'm guessing that I need to actually give these a value and not just say, what was that? Was that a thing? Let me see. I'm going to test the subscriber event. Seeing it's not... Okay, that's repeating because I also had it. Yeah, we're good. We're good now. All right, thank you. Hey, Capes and Arrows is here. Oh my gosh. Hang on. Let's say hello. Hello, Capes and Arrows. Good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us. Capes and Arrows, she's another crafting streamer. She's over I think you just hit affiliate. And you can check her out on her stream. She's doing sewing and other crafty things. If that's something that you're interested in, make sure you check her out. Give her a follow. All right, let's get over to here. There we go. Now my alerts are popping up, and of course the Stream Elements chat room disappeared. You're killing me here. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. And now I'm going to end up refreshing everything, and yeah. Hey, Yoda Droid. Who here is a .NET Rocks podcast Patreon? Yeah. So the .NET Rocks folks, they have a Patreon. They're raising money. 5719. Oh my gosh, that follower count has skipped up tremendously there. If we get that to 7,000 before May 1st, I will dye the beard rainbow for Microsoft Build. And yes, we've entered the Matrix. That's the way my background always is. And you should also see it slowly moving down vertically. It's very, very cool. All right. I was thinking about continuing on the discussion we had. Hey, sweet Vinaya, good to see you. The discussion we had about this, the work we were doing on the Azure Devops action. Right. I didn't set a project yet, Smab. So, well, I didn't set it. So, the photo. Oh, somebody posted a photo. Rate my setup. And it says a desktop computer monitor sitting on top of a desk with a 66%. No way off. What do we got? I think that's pretty good. A desktop computer monitor? I think the Fritzbot got that pretty good. So what you saw there was a little bit of, that's machine learning. That's image intelligence. Actually, it was. No, it wasn't. I think that's pretty good. I think that's really good. Nope. Wasn't answering it. So that is King 440's setup, that's a pretty good setup. Okay? Watching our new friend InstaFluff there, he joined our live coders team. You can find out more about the live coders just below me here. And it's a group of folks. There's 25 of us on the team now that are writing code live here on Twitch. You can learn from all of us. InstaFluff he's a tremendous guy. He's writing code. He's extremely friendly, very nice, and teaches in a way that's great for new folks. Make sure you check him out. He's another member of the live coders, and let's see if I can throw a quick shout out to him there. There you go. The monitors above head are pretty good because you always want to look up a little bit, because the camera's right here. So I do want to look up above it, but my monitor is below it. So to look up at chat, that's not too bad. But also I put my chat over here so that it looks like I'm looking at the chat room that you see on the screen. He is a very humble guy, tremendous. I met him at TwitchCon last year and had a great conversation with the guy. So, now we're going to try testing the bot. It's not going to find that. It's not going to look at that one because it doesn't have a .jpeg or a .png on the end. Yeah. All right. Now, no. All right. So I was thinking about continuing work on this Azure Devops action for the Stream Deck, but we've also been working a little bit on the artificial intelligence stuff for our bot. So I'm kind of looking at both directions. Not sure which one to work on. I thought I'd leave it up to the chat room. What do you think we should work on here today? Should I continue working on the bot? Our bot with some of the artificial intelligence stuff that's in there, or should we go over to and work on some more Stream Deck stuff? You want to work on a breakfast taco?
Totes my goats.
I can buy that. The bot gets a little bit quicker gratification. Yeah. 4 screens, but only 2 are monitors. How's that work? A CoreWiki upgrade to .NET 3. That's something that would be fun to do. Absolutely. And some folks want to see DevOps. All right. The perfect baked potatoes. Let's click through to that. At a 55.89%. That's a potato. Okay. Food on a wooden cutting board. Yep. On a wooden cutting board. All right. So let's see, what else do we have here? Is Team Live Coders only for English broadcasting people? You know what? That's a great question. I don't see why not. Why it has to be limited to English-speaking folks. If as part of our mission, we want to be able to reach out and teach folks around the world and enable everyone to have a chance at writing code. That's not too bad. I don't see why not. So I'm seeing folks say, let's talk about the DevOps stuff. So I think we're going to end up going over that way. Some guy on okay, King 440 is trying to trick the artificial intelligence here, and it's not responding to that one. See that? Hey Gareth, good to see you. DevOps content in Portuguese. That would be fun. Let's see here. Oh my gosh. Crows. Now see, it didn't do it. It didn't read it. Thanks so much for the resub on a 5-month streak. Love the content. Keep it going. Absolutely. Thank you very, very much. And we'll make a donation to Black Girls Code this quarter. All right, so I'm seeing folks say, let's talk about the DevOps content. So I think I'm going to go in that direction. Just started writing geospatial apps. Need to set up CI. Would love to see some DevOps. Well, I'm not actually going. Well, we'll do a little bit of DevOps stuff, and we'll bounce around over there. So we have an organization that has some shared projects called Fritz and Friends. How do you verify non-English speaking streams conform to the team's standards if you don't speak their language? That's the one challenge. That's the one challenge that I have with admitting non-English speaking folks. Yes, is how do I, and that was why I kind of hedged at it, is how do I know? So, a circuit board, okay. A circuit board? Is that what that one is? Yep, that's a circuit board with an NVIDIA chip. Okay. Hey, Space Cat, good to see you. Totes? What's going on? Funnier or epicer? Epicer? Current plan is to move to Cake. The challenge I have with using Cake with Azure DevOps is it completely hides the entire process of building an application. So, close up of a computer. Nope, Crows, it's not going to pick that up because that's not a .jpeg. It will pick up on Instagram photos. It's a mining machine. It's a Bitcoin miner, GPU crypto mining, but it is a computer, yes. All right, let's take a look at, take a little bit of a look at Azure DevOps. We're doing a little bit of work to add a feature to our Stream Deck so that we could get the status from Azure DevOps. So we were looking at a URL similar to this, and we'll get something that comes back that it's an image. 1 day past Pi Day and we move on to Cake. No. Where'd you get the training set for the bot? This is Impossible Username. This is the standard image recognition that Azure has available. I haven't trained this. Now see, it did. Thank you, Hugo. I'm not sure why it repeated that again. And there's Johan. We had Johan's sub come through earlier.
You have just subscribed.
Thank you. Let's see. A man wearing a hat from Instagram.
Eliza just subscribed. Howdy, my name is Bill.
That was a test one. Looks like it's reading now. But now it doesn't read the real one. You make me sad. Let's see here. Interesting. I got a non-acceptable response for that last link that was sent in. Huh. Look. Right, are we getting the sentiment analysis? It's like all of a sudden chat just screeched to a halt. You know what? I think we might end up working on the bot because it looks like, yeah, chat is stuck. Not just that, but the sentiment analysis isn't working. There we go. Now we got numbers. Whew. But definitely the stream elements bit, stream elements, I'm looking at you. And we're not getting good refresh here. We're not getting good updates. And now the chat's gone. All right, now it's back. Okay. But it's not reading at all. I'm going to have to find another provider. Or write it ourselves. It's crying for attention. No, I'm not going to do that. In science and technology, there are only 7 viewers in German right now, and German is a very technical language. It doesn't really make sense to stream in a niche language other than English. Okay. Unable to inspect that image from King 440. That's interesting. I'm not the only Stream Elements user having issues? Okay. All right. Be nice if the Stream Elements bot announced that. yes, we would need trusted folks to check and verify live coders. You're right, Hugo. Read things with voice mod. I'll need to read things with voice mod. Stand by. Hang on. Let's see if we can do this. Let's do this. No, I'll do it with a telephone voice. Here we go. So for live coders and non-English, could have trusted people review check? Nah, that's not as fun. The chat is stuck indeed. Maybe? That's not bad. I saw on Discord you might publish the criteria for joining the team. Gareth, we did publish the criteria for the team. I need to flesh out the process here and also put it on the live coders page. But let's see if it reads it. No.
Wahoo!
Finally! Thank you, Carrie. It's right here is where you'll find, and I've got 5 simple requirements at this point. Twitch affiliate or partner status. We want to make sure that you've got a presence on the platform. Folks politely answer questions from viewers. Promote a positive, inclusive, and welcoming chat room. We want to make sure that live coders are a person, not a brand. You won't see the Visual Studio channel as a live coder. You won't see Dev Intersection as a live coder. You regularly write code or make hardware with technology. Other content, that's cool too. So, I'm going to record that 100. For every cheer that's 100 or more, we'll record that along with our code as a cheer contribution. And then, you know what? Maybe this is what we'll do. You know what? Maybe let's take some time today, work with our cheer analysis code to generate that supporters document. What do you think? That's a little bit off, but it'll get us into writing some code that's slightly different, something that might be a little bit more fun to get into, that we're not underwater with, we're not behind or anything, and we can wire that up to DevOps so that we can make sure that it builds properly. What do you think, chat room? Does that sound like a good idea? We start analyzing some of these cheers, some of the cheer comments that we've got in our code, right? Like these ones. Hey, Svava, what mischief? Svava? Let me tell you.
Mischief is not allowed here.
How's that? Not bad? Not bad? It's not a banana. Wait a sec. Is that Jerry Nixon posing as King 440? All the mischief, all the fun, none of the problems, none of the challenges. We're just going to move on. We're going to get right into things here because we've spent plenty of time working on stuff.
Hello? Anybody home? Hey, think with fly. Think.
I am. I'm thinking. We're going to write something, okay?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
I do. Really, I do. And we're going to start to recognize those folks that have been supporting us. Because here it is. We're going to go look at this. This is called the Cheer Graffiti Project. This is under github.com/fritzandfriends. And this is a project that we started that looks at the code for whatever project we point it to, does a little bit of analysis using the Roslyn C# compiler, and then we'll extract those comments, and we can generate some documentation from that. Sound like fun? What do you think? Fierce Kittens, can we not actually link to porn? It'll actually come back and say that's too racy. That's adult. And it won't remove the link. So, Fritz and Friends DMD, is this my... No, it is not. So, Thanks, Moss, for all the emotes. I have new emotes coming. We're about 10 days away from when Corgi Candy is expecting to have those delivered, and I am really looking forward to it because I think I could use a little bit of an upgrade on some of those that are that I cobbled together, and quite frankly, I didn't do a very good job of. So, let's see there. Look at the potato cat. Hang on. Let's do this. Get this tucked in here. Got the cat parachuting in right there. All right. So let's take a look at this project, and we'll talk a little bit. Come on, open a project. All right, there we go. Let's see, Fritz Cheer Graffiti. So this is a practice that we have here on stream, and I still need to get together with Auth0 Bobby. He's been having a little bit of a family challenge. His wife's been sick, but my trial license is about to expire. Do you know who I am? I have a Microsoft... You're kidding. You're kidding, right? Amanda!
Inconceivable!
Now I feel bad. Did we discuss Black Girl's Code yet? No. There we go. I updated my license. All right, that works. Yep, got the updated license and we're good shape. Close-up of a horse. All right. We talked about the project hat, music to code by, but I haven't covered today's G Fuel flavor. Today's G Fuel flavor is brought to you by Phaseberry. There it is. Phaseberry. It's kind of like raspberry. It's kind of like blueberry, all mixed together. It's just a lot of berry. Thanks so much. G Fuel. Hang on. How about this? How about this? Somebody get ready to clip this for G Fuel, folks. Fritz and Friends today is brought to you by G Fuel. Thanks so much. No, that's kind of lame. Am I fired or what? No, I'm not fired. No, we're good. We're in like Flynn. Does it taste like snozberries? No. It tastes like magic and happiness and everything that's wonderful in this world.
It's illegal in 9 countries.
No, it's perfectly legal everywhere. It's fine. It tastes great. All right, moving on. This is our Cheer Graffiti project. We've been working on this in an effort to manage some of the things that have been coming in from when folks cheer to show their support. I want to recognize them. I want to put a little bit of information on screen in the code so that it sticks around and we thank those folks. And we've gotten to a point where some of our code is actually becoming quite populated with a lot of these cheers. And we'd like to move those out, put them into the GitHub repository in a supporters.md file so that we can show, here's the folks that have been supporting, and we want to thank them for their support and helping build what it is that we're working on. Still testing the bot there. Close-up of a giraffe in a cage. Okay. Sentiment was going down, so I had to say hooray to make sure it went up. All right, that's fine. I'm not worried about the sentiment analysis over there. That's going to be a thing that does its thing. It goes up and down. We'll put it over on InstaFluff's channel, and it's always going to be over on the 90s, above the 90s. It's going to be amazing the whole time. We're going to put it on Fierce Kitten's channel, and it's going to be at a steady 60. Just right there on the edge of unhappiness because she's going to get crazy angry at you and then for some reason, somebody's going to drop a GIF in and dance to Baby Shark. It's a thing. It's a thing. So, right? Steady 60 until the subscriptions come in, until the gift subs come in. And if you haven't seen a gift sub on Fierce Kitten's channel, I can tell you that she's had a bit of chili before the gift subs come in. Beans. So when folks cheer on my channel, though, we recognize with this code and this entry in our code, Relio, thank you for the follow. I look forward to seeing you in the chat room. And at the end of the month, whoever has the most bits cheered in the month, I'll invite to pair program with me. So Auth Zero Bobby's going to join us. Mike Jolly, we need to schedule some time and talk about a project as well. Well, they had a lot of bowel distress. They seem happy about it. Well, yeah. Stealth donation to St. Jude. Yeah. So, and Fierce Kittens does donate a portion of her subscriptions to St. Jude. Tremendous. I love seeing other folks that are supporting organizations through teaching, participating, having a good time here on Twitch. So we have a unit test or two that runs here that analyzes code to parse out and make sure that we're properly getting the cheer content here. Thank you for the follow, The Drays. Look forward to seeing you in the chat room, moving that rainbow beard follower goal along. Oh, what do we got here? The Do You Know Who I Am clip. Should I click this one? My trial license is about to expire. Do you know who I am? I have a Microsoft. You're kidding. You're kidding, right? Amanda. When he. All right, I've got to post that and tag Amanda Silver. Do you know who I am? Is it Amanda K. Silver? I have a Microsoft. I think that's hers. You're kidding. Right, I think isn't that Amanda? Amanda is the principal program manager. There she is. She's the director of program management for developer tools. She's in charge of Visual Studio. Would have been funnier for the G Fuel clip. Go ahead. Absolutely. Well, yeah, maybe. All right. Up to 236 for St. Jude on Fierce Kitten's channel. That is phenomenal. I'm going to set up a special time for us to make that donation to Black Girls Code. But that is absolutely coming. We've already raised. I'm gonna say it. Chat room. Can I say this? Can I share this? Can we get in a little closer? Come here. There you go. Hi, how's it going there, chat room? It's me. It's your friend .NET Jeff. I'm gonna say it. I think it's important that I share this information with you. Chat room. We've already raised through cheers, through bits for Black Girls Code more than $1,000 for Black Girls Code. Yeah. Unbelievable. Already more than $1,000. And here's the thing. My employer is going to match. Okay? So I haven't done the donation yet. I'm going to take a couple days here. I want to set up so we have a special time to make this. Yeah.
More than $1,000. Wow.
Absolutely. And we're gonna make sure that gets over to those folks. And that's gonna go a long way for them to help grow their interactions. So their teaching, their practice. Now, why didn't that one come up from Johan? Thank you for that cheer, Johan. Yeah, so we're gonna continue to push this. We're gonna continue to promote and encourage folks. I don't mind standing in the line of fire with some of the folks that think that it's racist of me to be doing these things. But I want to make sure that folks have an opportunity to learn about tech. So, all right, I've rambled. Let's get focused. Let's actually do it and write some code. Motown Andy.
More for black girls code smile.
Absolutely. Now Stream Elements is reading. Thank you, Motown Andy. Fighting the good fight. It is a great charity. I agree entirely, and I'm going to. I'm going to stand up to the folks in social media that say that I'm wrong or that I'm privileged and I'm exercising that privilege. I'm helping other folks. If you don't like me helping other folks, I can't help you. I can't help you if you don't like me helping other people that need help. So, need a vote or something for next quarter. March is about to wind down. So I do have another organization, another coder training organization that we're going to set up for the next quarter, for April, May, June. So I want to make sure that that we spread it around. We've done Girl Develop It, Black Girls Code, and then we're going to get into another organization next quarter. Even if you're a white man, you can still help people of color and women coders. Absolutely. And why not exercise that privilege to help others? Sure. So let's talk about this code. This analyzes our code and finds where there's cheers inside of our code. Cheers that look like this. And we can turn that into data, right? These are comments, right? But we're going to turn comments into data. So we have this code analyzer. This is just a method inside of this Fritz Cheer Graffiti core, right? This is just a class library project. There you go. .NET Standard 2.0. And it will locate cheers inside of some file contents, inside of some string. And if we look down here, right, it'll find... This is actually loading up the C# syntax, right? That looks small. Is that small? It is. It's not 100% zoomed. Oh my gosh, crows. Holy crow. 5 gift subs. Thank you so very, very much. And Tiny Tarask, thanks for the follow. Congratulations, Der Albert Live, Teotado, Semaphore 2, Tim Burgle, and Andre SJ. You've all got a tier 1 subscription. Thank you very much, Crows4K, for sharing that. And CJ Aliaga, subscribing with Twitch Prime. 7 months. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Daisy Chain is here. As a woman in tech, the best thing white men can do is leave you alone. If that's what you would like, that's fine. I'm happy to encourage, happy to help out any way that I can. If that's something that folks need, if there's recognition that I can share, if there's access to tools that folks don't have or training that they need, I'm more than happy to help with those types of things. So, very, very cool. Yeah, I'm not going to tell folks what to do, but I want to make sure that those opportunities are available. If you don't want my help, that's fine. But if you do need assistance, I'm more than happy to reach out and make that available. Okay, so this is using the C# Roslyn compiler, right? And it's looking at the compilation route for the contents that have been submitted. It's going to go find comments, and then if it contains the word cheer, if it's a comment that contains the word cheer, it's going to create a cheer from that node. Now, this is where it's going to start to parse this apart and figure out, because I didn't exactly have a consistent format for these things, figure out exactly what it was that cheer was logged with. And we did all kinds of work here to make sure that it recognizes different date types and generates appropriate fields, appropriate properties for each one of those. Oh my gosh! Wow. Always help others. That's nice. Yes. And I'm not gonna. I don't think I need to apologize for saying I'm available to help people. So, not a problem, Daisy. Not a problem. Advice and help white men often suggest is based on their experiences and they don't work. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Link query at line 26 of Code Analyzer looks like cheating. Would love something like that in JavaScript. Okay, let's see. That was in Code Analyzer, line 26. I'm here in Code Analyzer. What? I wasn't. That was in Cheer. Here. Yes, that is absolutely cheating. I'm not going to deny. Link is like cheating. For each node in comment nodes where and then being able to filter, Link is very much like that. Yeah, I don't have that installed and running. We should go back to that. We should go back to working on that bot interaction at some point. Let's see what we can do with this. Oh my gosh, Mike Jolly just gifted 10 tier 1 subs. 10? Thank you very much, Michael Jolly. That is a tier 1 for a Hofling, Drew.net, Blooper, Denerd100, Robot Baby Tiger, Andre88 UK, It's Just DRK, Foachan or Foachan, Methodology, and Tinamus Steve. Congratulations, you've all got a tier 1 sub. You're going to get access to 12 different emotes. We're going to make donations to Black Girls Code. Thank you very much, Michael Jolly. I really appreciate that. And yeah, we're going to make donations. This is tremendous. Thank you very, very much for that kind support. And Johan with a cheer.
These folks here are awesome.
Yeah. These folks are awesome. Absolutely. No, impossible username. There's what Daisy's hinting at is there's times where guys they'll mansplain. They'll over-explain things, not taking into consideration that some of the folks of a different gender from them, and I'm not going to wrap it up in just ladies, but also folks who are trans, but they're assuming that they aren't as smart or intelligent. I try to take the temperature of folks, try and figure out what level they're at before I try and explain something. Otherwise, I'm going to start with as wide a base as possible, right? Cover things as clearly, and then when folks say, "Oh no, I understand what you're talking about," that, "Oh, cool," we can talk tech and get a little bit further. Start talking at a 300, 400 more advanced level. If you ask, listened, and not blame, yeah, mansplaining is a real thing. Listening is something that we as technologists, I think, need to learn how to do better. It's not just talk at people. And it's not just talk at people, but listen to them. Listening is a skill as important as explaining. And it's something that I particularly spend a lot of time doing. And it's not just because Mrs. C# Fritz likes to complain at me. So, all right. Have a good one, Daisy. I hope you have a good day. Thanks for stopping by. Always great to see you. All right. So let's get into this a little bit here. Yeah, I want to make sure that we're welcoming and that we didn't inadvertently anger Daisy there. All right. Let's take it easy. Let's relax. Let's listen. We don't need to explain things. Let's give everybody the space they need. So this code right now, this is just a .NET standard. I believe it's not. Yeah, it's just got an analyzer in it. It doesn't actually do anything yet. It's not wired up to anything. It's It's just this method to locate these. Yeah, gifted sub. There you go. Sentiment score is a C. We'll get that to come up. That'll come up. Don't worry. We will bring it around. So right now all this does is locate a cheer inside of a file, right? At some point here, we need to expand this. We need to do a little bit more on top of it so that it'll actually go through files, go through a project, find all of the cheers, and generate appropriate documents for each file that it finds. What do you think, chat room? Think we can make something happen there? And then if we do this right as a command line app, we can run it as part of the DevOps process. Think about this. All right. Oh, chat room. You're usually really good, chat room, about helping me out with this. About taking an idea and spinning it completely and figuring out what the limits, the outside boundaries of this are. We can have this run against itself to generate the sentiment for the cheer graffiti project and check it back into GitHub. In a world where you can be anything, be nice. Hang on. In a world where you can be anything, be nice. Much love to everyone. Now let's get our code on. Coding is a happy place. Better? Huh? All right, I have a question about my for each. In my for each loop, you added all the link. Where do you find the tipping point of having too much link to create a separate var? Good question, Hofling. So right here where I have this for each, honestly, it comes down to readability. Because here's the thing. This right here doesn't actually get evaluated right there. Right? I could put it up here. Nodes to analyze. I could put it right there. Right? And right, I could put the where here. Right? So that becomes a little bit easier to read. And then I turn this into nodes to analyze. It won't actually evaluate and do the where clause and execute across this nodes element to generate this collection until it has to enumerate it, until it's requested to actually process it. So I can force it to do it by saying to array or to list here, and when that to array element is called, that method is called, then it will do it. So because that method is at the end here, it would force the process right here on line 26. But by just carrying it along, it's sitting there in a pre-compiled waiting state, right? It hasn't actually been executed. It knows what method to execute against, but then it'll execute it when it happens. You'd have to enumerate it. Yeah, there you go. Sentiment analysis, the amount what is cheered. Sure, sentiment analysis and cheer should go up. Yeah. As an MS build step with the NuGet tool. Yes, Stelzy. Yes. Yes. Cool. Thank you, Aofling. Hope that clears things up because we can make it better. We can make it stronger. Delayed execution is awesome in Link. Allows for buildup of a condition. Yeah, I look at the delayed execution as one of the strengths of the Link features of C# and Visual Basic .NET. So, all right. So let's put a command line app with this. So I'm going to add a new project. Console app. I don't want to do this as a .NET, as a .NET SDK app. iObservable cheers. Amanda replied. Oh, looking into it. We clicked the check for upgraded license button, and everything works now. Strange to see on a fresh install of 2019 RC. There we go. Teach you. Yeah, all right. Happy Friday. Thank you, Svava. Hey, team, does someone have a recommendation for a streamer who codes modern UWP apps with XAML Fluent design? Greetings from rainy Bavaria. Guten Nachmittag, Tobo Nautilus. I don't. We need to find folks who do that. Is that something you're interested in streaming? I would encourage folks that do want to build those types of apps to try streaming. I think if you haven't noticed, the Live Coders team is like baseball cards for me. I gotta collect them all. They're Pokemon. Gotta collect them all. Find folks that do all the cool stuff. James Montemagno is more Xamarin first and mobile first, but he knows how to code them. So, let's call this the app Cheer Graffiti. Just Cheer Graffiti. I don't need more than that. I want to make a short command line. While I haven't streamed XAML yet, you are a XAML fan, says Carrie.
Totes my goats.
She is. She's pretty good at it, too. All right. So we want to be able to find a point to a project and then bring in the code that's in that project and start analyzing it. Very new to the topic as a Mac guy. I have a speech handicap would not be the best qualification to host a stream. Okay. Okay, that's fair. What if you see tags, what they do on Live Coders? It'd be nice if we did have some tags that were more technology specific that we could go after. That might be a good thing. I'm going to grab this project, and I don't know if you saw this, but our friend and one-time guest, Kathleen Dollard, announced the System.CommandLine package. Where is it? It's not here. It's not here. Or is it this one? When was that released? Thursday. Maybe? They announced the System Command Line package. For managing output. System Command Line Experimental. Okay, so that is the one. So this is where they're trying to encourage folks to get and process and do a standard way of interacting with the command line, and it's not building properly right now. The DragonFruit app model. I'm not familiar with that. What is the DragonFruit app model? DragonFruit. The entry point for a normal .NET console application looks like this. Let's zoom in a little, see if we can learn something. Yeah, right. That's exactly what I've got right there. Okay. Interpreting the string arguments into behaviors has been left as a task for the developer. Yeah, I was just about to do that. Did the user ask for help? Did they pass valid input? Can the input be converted to the types that you need if they're not string? These problems are not solved for you. No, they're not. This was the question that led to the creation of the experimental app model called DragonFruit, which allows you to create an entry point with an arguments of various types and default values like this. Well, that's fancy. Okay. DragonFruit handles help requests, parsing errors, argument binding, and more. That's cool. You don't need to write any special code or get help support. Cool. Now what? How does it know that I want help? The text of those comments will be shown when a user request. Okay. That's pretty cool. You can try out DragonFruit by installing the latest preview package. All right. But I just want to be able to parse and handle things from the command line. With your .NET console applications while letting you focus on... Yeah, it automatically creates help end version. Okay. So, how do I use it? Get started. How to your first app. .NET new console, .NET add package, system command line, DragonFruit, add some code. Well, that seems easy. So we're going to add system command line, DragonFruit. All right, let's learn about DragonFruit. What do you think, chat room? All right. Let's tweet this. Learning about system command line DragonFruit on Twitch right now. And let's tag Ms. Dollard. Why do they have 3 names? Is one library better than another? I don't know. That's a really good question. Thank you for the follow, Schemer1. I appreciate that. So we'll add this. There we go. There is a B&B awesome developer streams. There is, yes. The other 2 are dependencies, yeah. It looks like they came in as well. There they are. Okay. So this is the root of it. All right, got it. Next. So we .NET added that. Open program, you see your main method looks like this. If you run it, you'll see this. Default main only takes string arguments as an array. With DragonFruit, you can accept named arguments of different types and specify default values. Change your main method to this. Sure. Let's give that a shot and see what happens. Learning something new. That's what we do here. Okay. Then you're ready to run your program, and we'll do .NET run -- So when you do .NET run, like you see here, to run a command line app, you have to provide a -- to say everything after this should be passed into my application. So let's save all this, drop to the command line. Why'd I run it that way? Let's run it this way. I thought there was a... Didn't I have a command line here? I thought I did. Maybe I don't. Fritz.cheer. I name everything after myself. That might be a bad thing. .NET run. Like that was suggested. Yeah, and I can't fix this. I've tried to fix this. I've done these things, and it actually throws really bad errors. The typer namespace name file info could not be found. Oh. Yeah, I forgot the using statement. Try that again. That doesn't work. Value cannot be null. It was. System reflection target exception. System IO file info. Where did it error out on me here? Is this me? I don't think this is me. This is inside of system command line. That's not me. So yeah, it's broken. I wonder if there's a tool from the command line to run as administrator. No. Because you need to... I'm going to see what happens if I comment those 2 out. Well, that worked. So it didn't handle the complex type. Well, I'm not looking at handling the complex type anyway. Nah, it wasn't a using statement. I think it was that complex type there it really didn't like. So... Okay. There isn't a tool, but there's a command with a run as switch. Didn't know about that. So I want to be able to run the command at the command line so that we can also run it from Azure Devops. And I want it to be able to do what? I want it to be able to point to a folder, analyze the source code in that folder, pull out the comments, and generate a report. Is the report generation, is that part of core, or is that part of this? Maybe it's part of down here. So right now, I'm returning an IEnumerable of cheers. So maybe the formatting is part of the command line. And then if we need to format it and push it out further, I will. But this looks kind of cool, being able to specify here's the different options and the help. So if I do that, and if I make this, so thinking out loud, chat room, if I was able to take in a path and be able to specify this needs to be a path, then I could, I could format and handle that appropriately. But I'm going to just specify a path name. Let's call it path to project. Now, do I get a short way to do it, right? Because dash, that's really long. Mr. T444, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate that. Look forward to seeing you in the chat room. Add an alias. Is this what I'm thinking of? Yeah, -V. Both commands and options support aliases. You can add an alias to an option like this. Option equals new option, option add alias. Great, where do I put that? Where do I put that? That's got to be a thing here. I've gone too far. All right, so we did the simple sample. Okay, help looks like that. Version option pulls, I guess that pulls the version of the program. Okay. So you missed what DragonFruit is. DragonFruit is this project model, this command line project model that we're being encouraged to check out now with .NET Core that allows you to receive, instead of an array of arguments, actual typed arguments into a command line application. So moving along further here, both users and developers find it useful to see how an app will interpret given input. One of the default features is the parse directive, which lets you preview a parse. Okay, that's kind of cool. That helps with debugging, sure. When you're developing your app and you find the parse preview isn't enough, you can pass in the debug flag directive and it'll, okay. Neat. I'm thinking this might be really helpful with our Stream Deck tools. Response files. Parsing command line arguments via response files is helpful for long command lines or for composing a command line. Okay. Adaptive rendering. PowerShell on Windows with virtual terminal mode enabled. Neat. Redirected to a text file. Raw text written out in the first example. This is kind of cool, being able to get that formatted output. And I could see this being a way to output content from our little cheer graffiti app. But I don't want to render. I want to add additional options. I want to be able to shorten the name. Right? Blah. Yeah, I want to be able to shorten that name. So argument validation and binding. Is it something in here? How to add an alias? Yeah. Both commands and options. Well, what's... Quiltoni! Oh my goodness. I can't believe it. Quiltoni's here. And she just subscribed for 2 months. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Sequel Mr. Magoo has done some graffiti with Blazor Razor components. Really? Oh, that's very cool. Gosh, another streamer tuning in and subscribing. I got to throw a shout out there to Quill Tony. Check her out. She's doing all kinds of neat stuff. Quilting. She's got a stream where you're going to get, let me make sure I say this right. You're going to get crafts, quilts, pets, giveaways, and she's doing a lot of work for St. Jude. Check her out. I consider her a good friend. She's been tremendous. I've learned a lot from how she runs her stream. When we've done giveaways here, they've been inspired by her. Always fun giveaways. So, thanks so much for the sub. And we'll make a donation to Black Girls Code. Yes, and I built the bot that runs in her channel. We did a little bit of work on it a week or so ago. We might come back to that as that bot is becoming a little bit more complex, and I think we're going to move that out to Azure so that we can make it real easy for folks to enable and use. And maybe that becomes the new Fritz bot, and we light up this bot that knows how to manage currency. It runs a game. Maybe we start dropping some artificial intelligence into that as well. That could be a thing. Thinking about it. The option can be named as just as the short name. Well, where's the short name come from? Yes, and Quill Tony is the source of some awesome video clips and audio clips. There she goes. Okay. So command, subcommand, command. Commands have child commands and can nest as many levels. I don't have commands yet that I'm thinking. We have a root command. The simplest case for invoking your code, if you have a program so simple that it has no inputs beyond invocation itself, would look like this. Okay. Pass parameters to a method. Syntax first. One approach you can use to configure the parser directly is by adding options to your root command. But see, that feels like I'm losing right up front. All right, for right now, I'm not, you know what, I'm going to reach out to Kathleen and see if we can learn a little bit more about this. But for right now, I'm going to add path to project and get rid of this. So we'll start analyzing these cheers. Is it going to be path to project like that? Path to project. Karnak, I want to see my hotkeys. Now it's throwing some of those cheers, so they're out here. So this is what we're going to be analyzing. What day is today again? The 15th. And Electric Havoc. Uh, 200 from Johan B. And it was 300 from Motown Andy. Motown Andy, back again. Right? Wasn't that Boyz II Men? String preferably, you don't want an int. Oh, you're right. Thank you. Good catch. Points to Codebase Alpha for picking that one up. All right. This is the normal system command line, but DragonFruit hides these advanced stuff a little bit. Okay. So I want to be able to format the content coming out of that path to project and go figure out, right? Generate a report for each one of those, and maybe a total, maybe it's one report for the project, one report per file. Right, our cheer object contains information about the viewer name, the bits, the file name that they looked at, repository. Are we actually capturing the repository here? No. But that's an option that we could capture. Right, when this constructor that we have here is going to take that text that it finds and just turn it into, right, just the viewer name and the date and the number of bits. We're going to have to fill in file name and repository. I didn't even look at it. These checks down the side, this is from the live unit testing that's running inside of Visual Studio. This is telling me, because these checks are here, that it's the tests that are already written execute against these methods here, and they execute successfully. So I should have known, looking at my editor here, that these aren't wired up to anything yet, because they still have a minus. They haven't been executed as part of a test yet. Mr. Lubert, thank you for the follow. I look forward to seeing you in the chat room. So let's move over. Let's move back to program. I feel like we have... Oh, do I do it in program or do I do it back in the core? Hey, oh, that's a cool emote. What is that? It's a monkey with a pipe? I've not seen that one before. But it looks like it's one of the standard ones. Live unit testing is exclusive to VS Enterprise. It is in 2017. I don't know if they talked about the 2019 release features yet. Demos of pixel rendering in Razor components. Ooh. Is that a hint for 2019? It's a hint that I would like to see in 2019. But I haven't seen how they've announced it yet. How they've announced the SKUs and what features come with each version. But for right now, for 2019, you can install whichever version you would like in the previews as well. I feel like the project processing should be in core. Let's do that. Let's put this over here for project processing. Right, so if you pass in a folder name, let's go find all the C# files in it. We're going to start with C# files. And let's call this project processor. It is not in Visual Studio Pro 2019. Oh, okay. Thank you, Dare Albert Live. All right. So let's make this a public class. And I want it to execute, and I want to point to a folder and have it find the files in that folder and then execute across them. So Brave Cobra would be so proud of me. Let's start off with setting up a folder and some tests. So project processor, add a class. Given a folder with no project, all right, so if we get a folder passed in that doesn't have a project, we should have it not return anything. They have to leave stuff out for the event on April 2nd. Yes, we do need stuff for the event on April 2nd. I'll be hosting that event from after the keynote on. Just thought I'd ask, any way to create an auto scene switcher, say running on a timer that will switch a scene live? The Bud Lab CA, you absolutely could do. You're talking about for OBS? For OBS, you can do with the Stream Deck. Just to touch on this quickly. If I go over to my mini, go down into a folder here. Yeah, those aren't loaded. You can always add a multi-action. And then you can add, right, there's a, right, timed thing. And you could do, where's OBS? Scene. And then you could do next scene, and there's a delay that you can put on these. Where'd it go? Delay. So delay a second and then change scenes. So you push the button, it'll delay and then do that and then take over the next scene. So that'll absolutely work for you, the Bud Lab CA. So you were looking at purchasing. Yeah. We stream 24/7, so looking at different options. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there you go. ReSharper Ultimate can do it only on save now. nCrunch is your tool. nCrunch is an amazing tool. I was a big fan of nCrunch, but I haven't used it. I haven't used it since maybe the first year or two that it was available, because I went off and I worked at Telerik. So if I have a project processor, right, I'm going to have a method here. What am I returning from this method? Is it a string? Is it a report? Is it a list of files? A list of files to process. String of file names. Locate files. Identify files to process. Root folder. No, project folder. Right? And maybe this should be an async task. And something like that. There we go. Do you want to allow a glob pattern for which file types to load process? Not yet. I don't need that because all my cheers at this point are in C#. That's not necessary yet. Given a folder with no project, public void should return no files. Given a folder, let's just say given a folder. Oh, shoot. Let's rename this. It didn't rename my file. Rats. When no project present should return no files. And I'm going to mark this as a fact so that we can XUnit test this. And I'm going to turn on live unit testing and dock it right here on the bottom half so we can see it just there above my noggin. So there we go. That's where we'll see it's running. Okay. All right, so when no project present, so we need to give it a folder to point to. When it's running a unit test like this, I need it to look at a folder that I'm sure has no project. So let's do this. I'm here in the test project. Where is it? Open folder. There it is. In File Explorer. So this is where I'm living when this is executing. Or is it down in the bin folder? I think it's somewhere. Maybe I have it make a folder in the constructor. Is that trial period expiring because it is due to release a couple days later? Yours shows the same. I don't know. Not quite sure. So let's create a constructor that will actually create that folder if it doesn't exist. Yeah. So I'll create a field, my test folder equals directory info, new directory info. Yep, give me a... Do I need it? I thought I could do a static method on here. Nope, I do need it. One of these. Can I give it... All right, so I can give it a path. So let me give it a path here. of empty folder. And I'll create that. Let's call this my empty folder, so we can be sure that it actually exists. If my empty folder dot exists, and we want to make that a not, create it. All right, so it'll create the my empty folder if it isn't there. Stephen Vore is here. Hello, hello. Where was that switch to turn on live unit testing? It is under test, live unit testing, and it would be here. It would say start. What keyboard do I use? Asks Pixia. I use that keyboard. There you go, right there in chat. This is a Vortex Race 3 with Cherry MX Blue, and that's a link so you can see pictures of it, and you can see where I bought it. There we go. Yeah. In tests like this, I put as a one-time setup inside the test class to create a folder and assert it's there. Paloran, I should have read that before I got into this. I'm sorry. You're right. I'm doing things backwards. Old school way. I'm dialing up. Getting into it. All right, so I know my folder exists at this point, and it's empty. It has nothing in it. So now let's let the project processor point to it and make sure that it's returning empty. So, right, so I'm going to arrange. Well, I've already arranged it. I've got my folder. So I need to actually create my system under test, my SUT, equals, this is going to be a new project processor. Oh, no. Using fritz.cheergraffiti.core, we'll say core equals. So I can just say and alias that. SUT, identify files to process, and I will pass into it my empty folder dot full name. Right? Because this call is not awaited. Yeah, I know. Did I? That's better. There we go. This should be an async. Otherwise, I'm going to get a funny look there. So let's do that. And I want to run it synchronously here so I can get the results. So I'm actually going to get the awaiter, get results. So I get the output from that. And then I'll assert the results. Right, because results is a collection. So I want to say assert equal, I expect 0. The actual is going to be results dot count. And like that. Right, now why don't you like that? Do not use to check for collection size. Well, what should I be using? Show potential fixes. Please do. Use assert empty. Oh. I didn't know you could do that. Why not use an async test? Can you make this async? Will it do that? Is that a thing? I didn't know you could do that. Does that work? Hey, Kitty's Homestead, good to see you. And MS Test. Well, I've never been a fan of MS Test. That's just me. Why didn't it find all the things here? I have live unit testing turned on. It should have found it and done something here. Where am I missing a semicolon? Where'd it go? Oh, up here. Well, that'll prevent it from running. For sure. Not all... await task from results. New string. Now, why don't you like that? Yeah, there we go. But now it's going to complain it's not async. Yeah. Boy, I always run into this. So if I do just return the string, right, isn't it? It's going to get grouchy here that that's not a task. If I await it and then return, it still doesn't like it. See? If I put a new in front of that, I still, if I comment that out, right, I'm going to get the, well, it's not a error, but it doesn't make me happy to see green underlines here. But see, this didn't run. Run my test. I want to see that. See, and there it goes. Now it's running. So now I have a test that runs, and that's kind of expected because I'm not actually doing anything. As I add features to this, then the plot will thicken. Then we'll see. We'll see what else it does. Now, this is it's handling the full name. When no project present, I want to also, right, want to see what happens when you submit a relative folder, right? So let's submit the relative folder name. And then as I'm writing my code, I'll see these tests pass or fail based on that code being written. And submitting a relative path, right? So a relative path, when I'm executing a command, something at the command line, is relative to where I am inside of my location. So we're going to be executing, say, at this folder. A relative path means execute from here looking down. Stepping away and lurking. All right. Not a problem. So that, I believe, is just a folder name. I'm going to put an underscore in here to separate these clauses. So now, because I have live unit testing running, it should execute and show me a result over here. And it's not. Right? I'll save the file and it's not executing. Yeah, folks, guys, if we need to make sure that we're friendly, that we're outgoing, and when somebody doesn't want you to chat with them, if somebody doesn't want you to give them attention, doesn't want them explaining further, don't push them. It's okay to leave folks alone. Yeah. It's always okay to step away from a conversation if somebody says, I don't want to hear anymore. Okay? Never a need to pursue something. All right. So these, it's curious to me why that isn't running the live unit test, right? So my test settings, it should run tests after builds. If I have that, now it's turned on. So now if I rebuild this, it should run the tests automatically. And there it is. You can see the green stripe going by. And then I'm going to get them wired up.
And then?
Good. We got all of our tests running. Now let's actually do something with this. So it's identified the files to process. So identify the C# files to read and pass on to the cheer processor. Okay. So right now we're just returning an empty string, and that feels bad because it's stupid. It's not actually doing anything. So let's look at a project folder and then go start iterating through this. One second here. All right. So let's actually start looking at the folder and finding the files that are underneath of it. So if we say this folder equals, and now we'll do new directory info on project folder. That's not how you spell project folder. Okay. So now I have that. So live unit testing is supposed to be executing these over here. We should see that green going by. Now this is still a preview. This is a preview version up here. So maybe there's something that I've done wrong. I'm not sure. Part of me wonders if the async unit tests are not handling properly. So chat has always been friendly and welcoming. Absolutely. And I want to make sure that that stays that way. And that's the only reason why I bring it up. I just want to make sure that everybody's cool. Thermal issues on a Surface laptop? Been there. I've had that. So if we look at the directory info, we then should be able to return this folder dot, isn't there a get files? And then I want to get them with a filter, a search pattern. And I'm going to be searching for C# files. And eventually I'm going to want to spelunk through them, go all the way through. So this is a collection of file info. No, I'm going to select. Right, here we go. I'm going to cheat and use link again. So I've got file name, and that should return my collection of files. These should still work. Right, and if I do my build, it's not. Did it already run the tests? I didn't see it run the tests. Run the tests. It's not done async live unit test. Yeah, I didn't think so. There it goes. Did I see it go by that time? Did it go? Now it's running. There's a lot of resources on my YouTube. Yes. Gosh. You want to learn C# so bad, but you're new to programming. Yeah, I have a lot of resources on my YouTube. And there's a number of other folks out there that you can connect with as well. On Microsoft Virtual Academy, there's a number of courses from a friend of ours that stopped by. Bob Tabor has written a number of those that you can check out. All free. MVAMicrosoft.com. Months behind your release schedule. Oh, no. Stephen Vore. Oh, yes.
And then?
We'll write some tests.
And then?
We'll write some more tests.
And then?
They'll fail.
And then?
We'll fix them. Microsoft Learn. Parixon. Actually, Microsoft Learn does not teach folks how to write C#. It teaches folks how to use Azure. It's good for teaching folks how to use Azure. MVA is not gone yet. Nope. The Microsoft Learn folks are taking away Microsoft Virtual Academy, and they're looking to make stuff over there. They're attempting to phase it, yes, but right now it's only Azure on Microsoft Learn. So, and of course you can find great C# content on places like, there we go, Wintellect Now. Pluralsight is out there as well. Yep. Pluralsight has a very, very large catalog. They're updating their catalog. Wintellect Now keeps theirs fresh. And Wintellect Now's videos are about an hour long. You can watch it over lunch, and you'll learn something. They also rolled Xamarin University into Learn. They are rolling it in. It's not all there yet. And Xamarin University is also a paid learning experience. So, okay. So now I want to actually write some tests where there are files and make sure I get some content coming out. So let me go back over to this. Right, so given a folder when no project present, given a folder and submitting a relative path and no project present should return no files. So now I want a folder that actually exists that has files. Love Pluralsight, but lately there aren't a lot of updates. Yes. And a lot of the folks that were Pluralsight authors are off writing their own things. That's absolutely become a trend. I'm not going to say anything further about that, but you can read into it as you wish. When project present should return files. Not void. That's better. So now I need a folder that actually has files in it. So let's call this folder. Right, let's have it analyze the test project. So new directory info, assembly, get type dot assembly dot, if it's a location, right, so that'll be where the assembly is. So we need to go up until we find the CS project file. Make that a read-only field. Let's call this assembly folder. And then I need to go up until I can find it. Yes, we are now using Visual Studio 2019. You are correct. Donna Sarkar is pushing Windows Insiders to get Azure certified. Yep, okay. I can't speak for that, but if she is, okay. Yep, Visual Studio 2019. It's coming soon, and you'll see me hosting the Visual Studio 2019 launch party. So our assembly folder, I need to go up. Isn't there a navigate up? Parent, that's it. Get the parent directory of a specified directory. So let's loop this. While assembly folder get files, I'm going to look for that CS proj. And no. While not. So while it doesn't find it, assembly folder dot parent. Assembly folder equals assembly folder dot parent. And we're going to need to wrap that with a little bit of an error. So right in the assembly folder is where the DLL is for this. Let me make sure I explain this for anybody who isn't familiar with how this works and navigating and working with this little bit of code. The DLLs that you see here in .NET parlance, we call those assemblies. And you put together a bunch of assemblies, and that's how you get an application. So this test project here, this is going to run and make sure that our code functions the way it should. So this test cheer graffiti, this project that I've written here, has this set of tests, and it's going to generate this DLL that you see right here. Now, I can say get this type, this given a folder class type that I've written, and the assembly that it lives inside of, that DLL. So now I've got a reference to that object, and I'm going to say, give me that file location. That'll be here. This folder, C dev Fritz cheer graffiti, blah 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 blah. Okay, so now I'm going to say walk up. Give me, if there isn't a CS proj, that's the C# project file type. If you don't see one in this folder, go to the parent folder. Oh, you don't see one here? Go to the parent folder. Keep going. There it is. Stop. Now my assembly folder is where I want to be. Now I'll say this folder equals assembly folder. In fact, let's not call it this folder. I'm going to rename that. So I'll F2. Now, why didn't it give me the whatever? Let's call it this source folder. So it's the source for this project. Now when I go down here, when project present, so I'm going to run my same test. So I'll say system under test is a new core project processor, and var results equals await. That's system under test. Let's identify the files to process. Go find files that have content for me, and I'm going to look at this source folder where that csproj file is, and I'm going to say, I don't want to say empty. I want to say, is there a not empty? Yeah, not empty. Cool. Results. Now, what happened there? What did I miss in chat? Fritzbot is good. Party like it's 2019. Do any of the Team Life Coders code in Java? Storm shouts, you know what? I don't think anybody does. That's a good question, Storm shouts. I haven't found anybody to recruit that does, and I'd be happy to consider and add folks who do. Ancient coder, you are for sure ancient certified as a coder. What? Inu235. Come on, show me the alert there, Stream Elements. Am I missing alerts here? Thank you for the subscription. Yeah, I think we're missing some alerts from Stream Elements. Thank you so much for the subscription, Inu235. You're going to get all of our emotes, and we'll make a donation. Blah, blah, blah. We'll make a donation to Black Girls Code. What's my take on certifications like the MCSD? MCSD is the Microsoft Certified Solutions Developer certification. I think they prove that you can do. They prove that you have the book knowledge. Storm shouts, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. But I think the certification doesn't prove that you have the wisdom. You have the knowledge. You don't necessarily have the experience. And that's where I think talking about an open source project, reviewing it together when you interview someone, lends a bit of value there. Storm shouts, student studying Java, going into Java Advanced next term. Would be good to have somebody around that does that. Cool. Yep, there's the awesome developer stream link. Absolutely. I can't believe it rendered the emotes there. That's pretty cool. So this should say not empty. We should find some contents because this project does have files. There's just one problem. Admin office, thank you for the follow. Good differentiation. Knowledge versus wisdom with certifications. Yeah. I think you're right, Rhinoceros Rex, that knowledge is one thing, but if you don't have that experience, you don't have wisdom, you don't know how and when to apply your knowledge. All right, so now all of my tests broke. I need that build failure to play. All right, the parameter is incorrect. C dev cheer graffiti blah 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 blah. Oh well, that's not a folder. Okay, let's go back over here. New directory info for the project folder. Well, that's all right. So I passed in a. Maybe we need to write something to handle that. You know what? Let's not find and break all the edge scenarios first. Right? Let's program. No. Where was it? This source folder dot name. This source folder is this assembly location. We create. Oh, it's erroring here. That's a file info. No. Yeah, that's a file info. All right, let's do this. new file info dot directory, and that should give me the directory object. Yeah, there we go. Now I'll rerun them all. Used to study Java on school, but after it started using C#. Okay, that's cool. Here we go. All right, that's what I was expecting. I've got one error. Cannot find part of the path. Blah, blah, blah. C, dev, cheer graffiti, test, cheer graffiti, bin, debug, netcore app, 22, test, cheer graffiti. Why can't you find part of that path? Let's go back over here. So the assembly is down in here. Not there. Right, so netcore app 22, test, cheer graffiti. Okay. Yeah. Oh, well, that... Wait a sec. Wait a tick. Now you can't see that behind my head. Directory get files. Identify files to process. So this should have given me a folder. I'm in the middle of interviewing, and I'll have to admit, I'm just not very good at tech interviews. Paloran. Okay, hang on. I'm great at working on problems, delivering solutions, but something about whiteboarding and quiz showing during interview turns me into a blundering idiot. Yeah, that does feel bad. Do you have a GitHub repository? Do you have somewhere that you can show folks code that you've written, that you've signed, that has some proof of what you've accomplished, so that you can say, you know, hey, I'm a little stressed. This, you know, I'm not very good at these, but I'm happy to show you some code because, right, folks do get intimidated when they speak in front of new people. They get imposter syndrome. I get it all the time when I speak in front of a crowd. A lot of folks experience it. So, I'm not sure why it's... Oh, you know what? Hang on. Could not let me move this up a little so we can see this. Could not find part of the path. cdev, Fritz, cheer graffiti bin, debug, netcore app 22, test.cheer graffiti. I'm not sure why it went to that location. Right, this walk up here. Tell you what, let's put a breakpoint in here and let's debug and figure out what's going on. You think our friend Robertables was planning on doing something related to that on his stream, tech interviews. Okay, that's cool. Best practice ASP.NET Core MVC repository. You can check out, the workshop that we ran. That's pretty good. That assembly folder right now is all the way down through netcore app 22. Okay, so now we're still looking. The assembly folder is now cdev test cheer graffiti bin. Okay. And now it is test cheer graffiti bin. Now it found it, so it's now cdev Fritz cheer graffiti test dot cheer graffiti. So that should have worked. This source folder is ctest Fritz cheer graffiti test dot cheer graffiti. Yeah. Oh wait, I passed just the name. Ah. That's the relative path. Oh, the plot thickens. All right. There we go. So this is this. Now, so we actually do have a valid second test there that we need to handle. Let's pass the full name on this one. Right? And Stephen Vore is probably sitting there going, I know exactly what you're going through. Aren't you? Aren't you, Steve? Come on. Where is he? Come on. Tell me about it. I know. And you know what? I'm going to throw our friend Stephen Vore, I'm going to throw him a VIP. He's a former colleague, somebody that I've enjoyed having a fine adult beverage with once or twice. So I'm going to throw him a VIP gem there. All right. Oh, you spelled it wrong. There we go. So now, in submitting relative path, when project present, here we go. not empty failure. So it didn't find any files because it doesn't know how to spelunk through and go find any other full files there. So we actually need to recursively search, and it shouldn't get files doesn't have a recursive. I thought this did. Yeah, it does. Search option, all directories. Right, that should spelunk through, and I should get at least this one turning true. I just said to build. There it is. Build succeeded. Run my tests. Run my tests. Run the tests. Run the tests. Run them. Run them now.
What are you waiting for? Do it!
There it goes. Oh, there's the Robert tables. Heck. Yeah. All right, so that passed. Now it's finding files for us. Good. We also need to be able to handle when it's a relative path. Well, it actually was a relative path. But we're not in the right location. So I'm going to ignore this one for now. I think, yeah. Test isn't set up to... I could change where it's executing, I guess. Right, if I changed the current folder. Villaman, best ASMR on Twitch. Am I? Thanks so much for joining. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. What do you think? There's... Carrie would appreciate this. There was a competition. Oh, and we could bring this up with Billy Hollis later. There was... we haven't started the build giveaway, Namasri. I'm still working on a final detail with the folks at... with the folks at Progress. There was a competition at TechEd a couple years ago called Speaker Idol, and I entered this competition twice. You gave a 5-minute talk. A panel of 4 expert speakers would review, comment on it, and whoever was the best speaker would be invited to speak, would get a full session at TechEd the following year. They've discontinued that for Microsoft Ignite. Yeah, Speaker Idol. I entered this competition twice. The first time I entered it, I got into the finals, but did not win. I lost to a couple folks that you probably know that are really good speakers. David Giard and Seth Juarez from Channel 9. But I learned a lot, and I got hired at Telerik as a result of that. I went back and I gave a talk the second year, very next year, made the finals, and I was told by one of the judges, and you can find the video. It's available out on YouTube if you look for Speaker Idol 2013. Seth is a great speaker. If you go find the video, you'll find one of the judges says, "I can't listen to you for an hour teaching. I couldn't focus. There's something about your voice that would just, not." And I didn't win because of my voice. So, take that as you will. Yes, he was talking about machine learning while he was working for Dev Express back then. Twisted Aphid, thank you for the follow. Yeah, look at me now. Look at me now. Hosting an 8-hour workshop for Windows yesterday. Yeah. Feel the same about your own voice, trying to get over it? Yeah, right? It's not something that's easy to shake. The relative path here, I could change the running location of this at the beginning of this and at the end of it. Now, you know what? That's going to be a little bit complex. I'm going to skip this for right now. Need to set up to run from the proper location on disk for relative testing. All right. So that's going to be skipped. So that means that all of these should run through properly. Jeff, you know, the guy with the radio voice. Me? I have done a radio thing or two. Maybe. Just maybe. I could drop really into radio guy here. All right, so now we're going to identify files to process, and I think we've got the right files coming out of it. I've inspired a lot of good people to stream, built a community, and you know what, Ancient Coder? I am proud of what we've built in that Live Coders community, and I want to make sure that more folks are enabled and empowered to join it. We're at 25 folks in there right now. I would love if we could cross 100 great streamers in there by the end of 2019. I think we can get over 100 streamers in there. The qualifications are purposely set kind of low, and I'm shaking up the list of streamers that are in there. I want you to be able to find great folks that are broadcasting, teaching code any time of day, any day of the week. Helping a ton of people get over the fear of camera and speaking. Oh yeah, absolutely. Sit down in front and record yourself in front of a camera. It's real easy to get cheap tools to set up and do that. You can do it with OBS. There's a record button in there, and then when you're ready, you feel comfortable, click that start streaming button and let us know, and we'll have some folks come over, join you, and be encouraging. Our chat room is always encouraging, and we'll get folks pointed and learning, having a good time together. All right, identify. All right, so the next thing I want to do is I want to pass this list of files into something that's going to go and actually process the cheers. So if I'm processing those cheers, I'm going to be returning a collection of, I think, file names and cheers. So I think that's going to be a dictionary of... Do I need it as a dictionary or do I want it as a tuple? Let's make it a IEnumerable tuple of... No, I want to... string file name and then cheer right, so we get here's the file name, and then it's actually going to be a collection of those cheers. Yeah, here's all the cheers that I found in that file, and let's call this get cheers for, and this ended up not being async. I could make that not async now, right? I could get rid of this, make this not async. Will these still run? I bet you they won't. Get cheers for, yep. Nope. Get cheers for files. Yeah. IEnumerable string. And then go through and do the analysis. Yep, Codebase Alpha does stream too. Can we get a shout out for Codebase Alpha? I think, is Smap the only moderator? Oh, Carrie's here too. Yeah. Thank you. Nope, Hugo, I don't think it's going to work for you. I'll take care of that. Yep. SMB code as, yeah. There we go. So if we do this analysis, right? So let's return null for right now. Now I can start setting up my next set of tests and start going through that. I could pass around the file info directly instead of the name. We're going to need it to open the file anyway. You're right. You're right. But here's what I want to do right now. It is noon. I have a couple things to finish setting up for Dev Intersection. I'm going to check in our code here, set up and raid someone else. What's going on over here? Okay. That's not cool. All right, I will close this. I should have paid attention to what's it called earlier. Hope I'm having a great day. Yeah. We are. Where did my... There it is. So I'm going to continue building this out so we can isolate and identify these files, and then we'll generate a report out of this. I feel like we didn't accomplish a lot, but I think we had a good conversation today. What did we add? We updated the code analyzer a little bit. Yeah, I'm good with that. Started tests and processing files so we can generate a report. I'm going to get prompted here for my GPG key, open PGP key. I will sign that, and I typed it in badly. There we go. Cool. All right. Go up here. So we spent some time going through and looking at, we learned about the System.CommandLine DragonFruit structure. And we're going to try and use that with this so that instead of having a static void main that takes in a collection of string arguments, we'll receive those and pass them on as strongly typed objects to the next pieces of our command line tool that we're going to build to actually generate some supporting documents for folks to recognize those folks who have been cheering. We've got a couple of unit tests built that show how to go through the folders, navigate through it, and make sure that we're properly finding files that are C# files that we're going to analyze, parse, and be able to work with here. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us. I'm going to extend this a little bit. I'm going to do a little bit more of this yak shaving up front here so we can get to actually building some of this project on Sunday. Sunday, I'm going to be broadcasting from a hotel room in Seattle, actually Redmond area, because I'm going to be in Seattle next week for MVP Summit. I'm the MC for the Dev Technologies track. I'm the content planner, and along with my colleague Jamie Singleton, we're going to be hanging out with MVPs all week. I will not be streaming on Tuesday. Tuesday's stream is actually at the same time that I'm hosting an event where MVPs get to speak at MVP Summit. Thursday, we'll see about streaming on Thursday, but Tuesday stream I will need to cancel. Maybe we'll sneak another stream in first thing in the morning while I'm out there. So I will update the schedule, and I'm going to get the final details on our giveaway with our friends from Progress Software. Let's set up a raid. Where's my raid panel here? I had a panel here with the raids. Not a problem, Robert Tables. Not a problem. Let's see. Oh, now the music stopped. Keep going. Keep going, Mario. Keep running. Who is going in science and technology that we could raid? I wish it would show me the people that I follow first when I search. You can drop by. Hey, look at this, Kathleen. Hello. Well, Sunday I'm looking at streaming first thing in the morning at 7 a.m. Maybe we can work something out. Maybe. Definitely talk about it. And Ed streaming about Blazor? All right, I think we'll raid Ed. That's not a problem. Ed Charbonneau is another member of our live coders team. Let's put out the raid call. 7 a.m. Pacific time. There you go. Copy one of those two messages that you see there. First one if you are a subscriber. Second one if you're not. C# Fritz's coding squad is here. All your base are belong to us. And we will kick off that raid. If you want to watch Ed, he's talking about Blazor. He's talking about all the cool things that are going on with that technology that you can use in... so the Sunday stream will be at my normal time, but I'll be in Pacific time, so it'll be 7 a.m. Ooh, all right. Maybe we can do something. I will give you a call. We'll talk that through, Kathleen. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us. Say hi to Ed for me. Copy out one of those raid calls so that when we get over there, you can drop it in, let him know that we're here to take over. All right, everybody? Thanks so much for watching. I hope you come back and join me on the Dev Intersection channel at 1 p.m. in about an hour. I'll be back over there with my co-host, Richard Campbell, and our first guest will be Billy Hollis. All right? Take care, everybody. I hope you have a great day. Say hi to Ed for me with that raid call, all right? You don't have to do a thing. Here we go.